Do you ever look at me? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it up. But it's not live selling, it's YouTube videos. Okay, so hello, I'm Aubree, and this is my dad, John, and he's John Otho Yeiser IV. My brother's the fifth. And we're gonna talk about live shopping. And my dad is a live shopping expert, but we don't do YouTube videos, so this is new. So normally he goes on QVC for like 6 to 8 minutes at a time, sometimes an hour, which is exhausting. But he doesn't do YouTube, and he doesn't do TikTok Shop or any of those things. So we're merging all of his 30, how many years?
30 years.
30 years of live shopping experience for TikTok Shop. So on live shopping, do you want to introduce yourself first?
So my name's John Yeiser. I've been an inventor for 40, probably 50 years now. Since I was a little kid, I had my first invention and have now turned it into a business where we invent all types of consumer products, and pretty much anything that anyone wants, we invent and then produce and come out to market with.
Good job. Okay, so our first question is, how did our family end up selling live? Because we have a long inventor history, but you were the first one to live sell, right?
Correct, yeah. So it started out where I got into the business. I loved inventing, but I got into the business by default. My prior business was going out of business. I wasn't making money. I was getting evicted from my house. I came up with an idea.
What was your prior business?
I had a coin laundromat business, so I used to own coin laundromats. Then I had a water purification business in Mexico, in Tijuana and Mexicali. And that's the last business that I had that wasn't working. In the process of doing water purification, I came up with an idea, because I'd been doing filtration, to filter water that if you filtered it enough, you could actually wash your car or wash your windows and they would dry spot free.
Which is kind of crazy that you're doing a water filter for your first invention.
And now doing another one.
And now we're doing another water filter. I never thought about that.
My daughter invented.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
So it was and in the process of doing that, I just did it. I did it what I call like a guerrilla style of inventing or marketing. I just built it in my garage with PVC pipe. I went to some local dry cleaner and liquor store owners, raised some money, and this is where all live shopping got started, because I had liked coming up with ideas or inventing, but I didn't do it professionally to make money. Mm-hmm. This is the time where the idea actually took fruition and made money. And so when I raised like $90,000 at the time, and at the time infomercials were really big. Live shopping at QVC was on the growth phase, everything's doing great. And so I launched the infomercial. We produced our own infomercial.
Like cheesy infomercial, not to be harsh, in a good way cheesy, like the old school 90s cheesy.
Yes.
Like, buy mine.
But it was considered an honest video. So we were unique in the time period, because during the time of those videos, everyone liked ours because we were a breath of fresh air, because we actually came across as an honest,
You're on the edge.
we came across as an honest way of selling an infomercial.
Okay.
And it was just from my heart. It was telling people about our product from my heart. And that came across as positive in an area where it wasn't at the time.
I've never heard that story.
Mm-hmm.
I like this.
And that's what got our attention. So when everyone, because we had never produced a video before, we'd never produced an infomercial. They're hard to do. Mm-hmm. They're statistically difficult to make money at. Like 1 in 20 make money. Mm-hmm. Our first one made money, so that was a great success.
And that was the Revolutionizer? The
Revolutionizer spot-free rent system. Mm-hmm. And so when we launched that all of a sudden I realized I could make money inventing, and so that then led to the obvious. Once you're selling there, you go to retail, and then led to QVC home shopping. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think the first time I was on air was at HSN.
Didn't you launch with Billy Mays?
Billy Mays, yeah, he actually was one of the people that actually, when I first was going on air for the first time, I was super nervous.
With your big pants? He wore these like big baggy pants, which are actually cool now.
Yeah,
so you were cool. And New Balances. He wore New Balances, and I told him they weren't cool, but now they are.
And I just threw them out after 20 years.
And I'm not wearing mine, but I did buy some, and my mom made get some too.
And so Billy Mays, and then we had multiple infomercial and live shopping stars at the time. Took me under the wing and taught me how to do it. Mm-hmm. I was nervous. I didn't succeed the first time. First time I went on air, we actually bombed. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't do good. But
me too.
It's statistically
I think I sold like 10 products, right?
Yeah, I didn't do
because we were in Canada. And in Canada, on the shopping channel, you sell like nothing.
Yeah.
Remember, I went on air and it was like, we sold 3.
Yeah. But you got a lot of airtime, so you learned how to do it.
Yes.
And on mine, I spent the first 3 minutes saying who I was, which is death and at that time in live shopping, because
which I feel like is interesting, and this is going to be hard for us to like, me specifically, to be succinct, but I think what's crazy when you say that is now people make YouTube videos where they watch for 40 minutes to learn about something, but live shopping is 6-minute segments.
Yes.
So I do think there's like a merge right now happening between live shopping, how it used to be, and live shopping, how it's becoming, because I buy stuff after I've watched the person that made it talk about it and have it in their house for 40 minutes, and they don't even mention the product. Like, that's how I consume live shopping
Yeah.
now, but how live shopping traditionally is, and how it's kind of merging into the internet is like 6-minute increments, which is kind of crazy.
Yes.
Or shorter now. TikTok's like 30 seconds.
It's fast, and it's actually what.
So you talked about yourself for 3 minutes.
Talked about 3 minutes, which at that time meant products weren't selling,
Right.
and then you're off air. It's
Right.
like a hook; they pull you off air because you're not making enough money.
Yeah.
And so, but that then one did succeed, and then led to the next, and then we ended up getting into a rhythm and figuring out how to do live shopping.
Which I think it's cool. You were a generational inventor, but the first live shopper. But now you're like starting a generation of live shopping inventors, because my brother, myself, him. So you kind of like started something new in a long line of inventing history.
And now Aubree and Jack go on, and they do great, and they
Yeah.
have tons of airtime experience.
Yeah.
And we're learning now how to adjust and adapt to new live shopping, which is our goal right now.
Which I feel like next question we kind of already answered, but why, and we need to scoot in. We keep getting two. We're like, there we go. Why does live shopping work? Why do you think it works?
I think if you go back to, I think live shopping goes all the way back to, forget about live shopping, go back to commercials, go back to, actually going back to circuses and fairs when you didn't have TV.
We're going to the fair tomorrow.
Perfect. And when
You're
at
going
that
to,
time,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
And at that time,
Shake it off.
What?
You got like live selling talk. Shake it off. Shake it off. I'm serious. Shake your arms.
So
I'm serious. Shake your arms. Okay, good job.
So at that time, at that time, you walked up, you'd never seen a product before, and there's someone showing you how it works. They're
Okay.
demonstrating it, they're telling you why they think it works. There's a connection at some point with the person that is buying, the person that's selling, to want to learn about the product, believe in the person that's actually offering the product. And there becomes, even though it's a very minor relationship, there's a short relationship versus just a picture showing up, online or at a retail shelf. There's a connection made, and that connection, there's an emotional experience, I think, that happens. And that has gone back, so it's not just home shop, it goes all the way back to then, and all that's changed is the medium in which we deliver. So it was physically in person. We all heard, the stories of the guys
Which has
with
come back because like pop-ups and stuff
Is
with
same
brands are
type of
super
thing.
popular now, and that's like the old school fair style
Yeah.
selling is you're inviting people into your
Correct.
booth, your space, your world. They're just a lot fancier now.
Yeah, and then as technology changes and the medium of communicating changes, then live shopping needs to adjust, which it has over the years. And now we're in a new adjustment, which we are super excited about. Love any input we can get to actually try and get better at it, because we love doing it and we just want to get better and adjust to the new format.
So why it works is because someone's demonstrating it for you. They're showing you the product, but then also because you kind of like the person selling it, which I feel like in the past wasn't as much, because at the fair you're kind of just walking by and you're interested in the product. But I think now there's so much data out there about the person you're buying stuff from. I think you kind of have to like be intrigued by the person to buy it.
Makes
Do you
sense.
think, or no?
No,
Like,
it makes sense.
Even on QVC, so he's been on QVC for 30 years.
Yeah.
And one tea caller told Aubree, I think I told you this, but he shared it, and she's like, I like watching just for the company. And I thought that was
Right.
interesting. So like live shopping has like a personal connection to a product purchase that like a retail shelf doesn't. Because a retail shelf, you're buying something on a shelf, you're reading the box, you don't have that connection piece.
Correct.
At the fair, you have a little bit of connection because you're seeing the person using it. But now with the amount of like video out there, you're like getting to know the person you're buying from almost, which
Right.
is kind of weird. So
That
it's
makes
like
sense.
a friend, but okay, next one, and we'll make it quick because we're already at 8 minutes and we have stuff to do. So what makes a great demonstration?
Great demonstration is something that grabs the viewer's eyes instantly. So there's two descriptions I get. So this applies to an older technology, but the concept is still the same for new. It's that if you're sitting there with infomercials at the time, you'd sit there with your lazy boy sofa, you're sitting there watching TV, you've got a drink in one hand, you're eating, and then you're watching TV, you're getting numbed out for hours. Then all of a sudden something comes on and it causes your eyes to go look at it.
Okay.
That is the magic. And
Okay.
if that doesn't happen, it's hard to get people to want to see what you're doing.
So a demonstration has to be entertaining and understandable.
Yes,
You have to
and-
instantly know what you're trying to tell.
Correct. And
Yeah.
the ultimate one, like if you were, and then the other description of it is that if you were sitting at a bar or a restaurant and they have a TV up in the corner and you can't hear anything, all you can hear is all the noise around you, but you can visually see the TV. And if they do something on camera and it catches your eye, and you not only catch your eye, but you understand what they're doing off of visual with no audio, no text, no anything. That's the best you can get.
Which when we first launched Remote Garden Hose, one time he was on QVC and his audio went out, and that's like the worst thing that can happen when you're on air because you can't communicate. But the product still sold, and that's what was so crazy is he's on air selling this brand new metal hose. Nobody had ever seen a metal hose before, and it still sold because the product itself and the demonstrations he was doing showed it. But your words didn't work.
Yeah.
And he's like, shoot, my mic went out. And then the sales were great. So it showed that the product had great demonstrations.
And it's still the most important thing. It's like, although as a presenter, we can go on and, do a good job
and when
communicating.
you say presenter, not to step back, so when we do live shopping, there's the host from QVC or HSN that is typically a part of the company that's hosting, so like TikTok host almost. They don't do it yet. Maybe TikTok, you should someday. And then there's the presenter, which is the person that either owns the product, like the founder or the owner, or the owner's daughter. And then there's also the person that is maybe paid to present your product that isn't a part of your brand. So we hire out presenters. So when he's saying presenter, that's what a presenter is.
Correct.
Yeah, just throwing it out there.
Yeah, no, good. I'm glad you described that for sure. And that, and the presenter can, a presenter or a salesperson, whatever it is, because then, going back, if you're selling a car, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
What an influencer is now. Like an influencer is like a modern day presenter.
Ultimately,
because they're like, look, I'm in my house and I really like this marble bowl and you should buy it.
Correct.
Like that's what a presenter is. We just have brought live shopping's studios from one location being broadcast everywhere to everybody's homes. It's like what you want to do with shipping. Sorry.
Yes, yeah, correct.
Don't say too much, but
and so,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like what happens is that no matter how good the salesperson is or the presenter, if the product's not right and the price isn't right, it's not going to sell. Okay, so all we do is facilitate it. We take an item that should be good, that has the right price point, and it's there, and that the item and the price is king, and then we just help facilitate communicating to someone else why we believe it's a good item, and share that with you and give you that knowledge of what it is.
Like it. Okay, last one. What hasn't changed in 30 years? With live shopping specifically, not inventing. So what hasn't changed? Because there's a lot that's changing in the medium. It's not at QVC only anymore. It's also at TikTok Shop. I know there's other ones that I don't know the names of, but live shopping's format, I feel like right now is going through what Blockbuster went through when Netflix killed it. And if Blockbuster had become Netflix, they would still be relevant. And I feel like live shopping's doing that right now. Like QVC's evolving with TikTok Shop. Come on, QVC. But they're evolving with TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop is this whole new medium, but live shopping's still live shopping. So there's all these changes, but you've been doing it for so long. What hasn't changed?
What hasn't changed is people still want to buy products. That hasn't changed. There's a desire to have a new item or fill a need or solve a problem, and that desire hasn't changed. It will be there forever. It's human nature. It's been there since.
Can I add one thing I think that's crazy when you say that is my mom calls Instagram shopagram because she feels like Instagram, which used to be the social platform, has become a shopping platform. And I think what you're saying is why, because people are looking for a place to shop. That's just like consumerism, natural like product purchasing. So they used to go to, I don't even know what you call it, like not farmers markets, whatever they used to have back in the day. They used to go there, and now it's a shopping medium. And like social media has kind of transformed into a shopping medium, but my mom doesn't like shopagram because she thinks it's lame. So she would rather go somewhere to shop and then also have her social area separate. And I think people are kind of feeling that tension of like Instagram unassumingly became live shopping because you're always being sold there now, but they don't want to be sold when they're not trying to shop. And I think that's what like live shopping does. Like you're saying, there's the person wanting to shop. And what I think the live shopping trend is bringing about right now is it's giving people a place to intentionally shop and letting their social apps, platforms, whatever's be separate so that their shopping's not necessarily always in their face when they're just trying to see their friends' kids' pictures kind of thing.
No, that makes sense.
But there's still a consumer trying to shop.
The consumer still wants to shop, and but that desire hasn't changed. The willingness or wantingness for someone who's buying something to want to be educated on what the product is, what they're getting, why it's good, why it's better than some other product.
You work hard for your money. Why are you spending it?
Exactly.
And you have other things. Why would you need to either get this instead of and replace what you're using currently? Like why? I feel like that's
the ability to communicate that, which when you boil it all down to the very basic of it, it's the communication of what the product is to who might be interested in getting it, why they might need it, why they want it, why it's better than something else. And that has not changed forever, okay? But the medium in which we do it is changing. And so if that's the common denominator, then what we need to do is to adjust and adapt with the new medium and the new method in which people want to receive the data. And that's all it is. I mean, it's when you're at a retail store, the data is received by the front of a box. When you're on the
Which is really hard.
Which is really hard. It's really hard to be able to do.
You get this much room to explain a lot of information.
And to be able to
where
do that.
video's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier and it's more personal. And that's the part when you were saying there's a connection made. So the common denominator is that people need to be educated, meaning people, myself, when I'm shopping, I want to learn about what I'm getting. And then there is the connection of who is sharing that with you.
Which I think is like the trust piece you said in the beginning.
Exactly.
The fact that his first infomercial
coming right back to that, exactly.
was like 90s cheesy, but it was, I honestly never heard that. I think that's so cool that like the core of it was, and that's
trust.
how you've done business your whole life. He's very honest to a fault. He's made me honest to a fault. But I think sometimes that honesty piece, it's like you don't want to be sold junk, you don't want to be sold stuff you don't need, but you are looking to buy something, and if you are, here's what it is and why it could be good. I think like that honesty piece within a shopping space is unique.
I agree. I agree. And I think that and being able, and now with the adjustment and the way we can communicate, the time and the ability to do it on a level that hasn't been ever before in the history of the world, communication allows us to do that on a level that is new and exciting.
I agree. I have 2 little fun fact tips to add to the end because we're all done with our questions. But as we've been doing this, so he has gone through like years of QVC training, like he said, all the people at HSN in the past, Billy Mays, all these people that were like TV, he's been trained. I've been trained a little bit, so I went through like QVC's training, but there's a couple things that I think they say on set in these giant studios that they think are so normal that people don't necessarily know. So one is, when we started, you said, who am I looking at? So when you are doing live shopping, at QVC, they call it the third person, right? So there's me, you, and the camera is the third person in the room, which I think will be interesting for me and you, because at QVC, it's very obvious. You talk to each other, and then you do your demonstration. You talk to each other, but this is just us talking. Right now, we don't have demonstrations. So learning how to have the third person, the camera in the room, included well. And then, isn't that what they call it? They call it the third person, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're like speaking to you. But then the other piece I think is interesting is they call it over the fence selling, right? And that is the honesty piece, but like they teach you that at QVC. So when you are there and you're getting ready to go, you have to go through this whole training program before they'll let you be on TV because you're associating yourself with QVC's brand. And they say you want to describe something like you're talking to your next door neighbor over the fence. And that best be something that you're going to see them in 3 weeks and they're going to be happy they bought it with. Like there's layers to that, but that's kind of the simple. So there's, I feel like, 2 little live shopping fun facts that feel like have come up in this conversation that they actually taught us to, which is kind of crazy.
And it's a positive. It's not intended to be anything bad. It's the process of how would you want to be communicated to. I mean, you can be hard sold, and we've all seen the sales pitch. The sales pitches, I mean, those used car salesmen. The cliche is for saying that because trying to sell something, And but then there's also communicating the way that a neighbor might want to do it, and that is what's amazing about home shopping is that it become more personal. You have the time to be able to communicate, which allows you to do that, to be able to communicate to you as a neighbor over the fence, which is a great way to learn about a product.
Fun fact too. So last fun fact as we close. He's my neighbor. So I live here. He lives next door, which is super fun. So talk to your neighbor nicely. And that's all. Good job.